All right. So let's just talk about the situation with Stronghold Games and the Terraforming Mars expansion, or the more Terraforming Mars. If you're not aware, they have come out and said, because they were forced to by Kickstarter, that they used AI generated images from Midjourney, um, and a few other sources, Adobe. All these companies are being sued right now by artists, um, and that's a whole nother topic that we can talk about here. But all these platforms are known to have trained their models on the work of people who did not consent to have the models trained on. If you spend any time looking at AI art, you will see watermarks, signatures, all that sort of stuff show up in the final images. It's not a debatable point that this is stolen artwork, essentially, at this point. And we're going to have to see how the courts determine this. It's still new technology, but what I'm disappointed in is that a year ago I prosed that a small indie board game creator could use AI to augment their limitations as a small indie studio. So most of the people I know in the board game industry, they're lucky to break even on a game. A lot of times they go negative in the game. Like they lose money off games. They just do it because they want to create a board game. They want to have fun. They want you guys to have fun. Um, and so I pros that you could use a tool like Midjourney to illustrate your artwork, and that you could augment things with ChatGPT. I did a video on that as well, and um, it certainly speeds up the process and it makes it achievable for a small indie studio. And when I say small indie studio, I mean like a guy just making a game to have fun, or maybe a couple of people, a couple of friends doing something that might make $30,000 on Kickstarter. $30,000 on Kickstarter is going to just barely cover the cost of producing a game, honestly. But Stronghold Games, with Terraforming Mars, this new expansion, they're about to hit like $2 million, and their stuff is AI artwork, and they are using AI generated. They say AI generated rules. Possibly, I don't know if they're using ChatGPT to augment the writing. But there's a very slippery slope here, and there's a few things to also consider, and I would pose to Stronghold. A, you have the money to pay the artist, and you have artists that work for you in house that have done a great job before. Is being able to do something slightly faster and slightly cheaper worth it as a company? Because you're certainly taking a step in a direction that could lead you down, like it's a slippery slope, right? Is it worth it to compromise on morals in this way? And I've seen the statements and the stuff that Stronghold has made, but it's stolen. All right, it's stolen. And here's the deal: you came out and said that your artwork is AI, and you said, "Oh yeah, but it's been touched by humans." How much, and how much can you prove it's been touched by humans? Because as I see it as well, is you don't own any of that artwork that you're putting up. You can't copyright any of the artwork, according to the copyright courts. Currently, you can't own that artwork. So if somebody had the equivalent morals that you did, they could easily just rewrite the rules to Terraforming Mars and steal all the same artwork and put it onto another board game calling it Terraforming the Red Planet, and you wouldn't be able to do shit about it. Right? You're not protecting your IP. That's the huge problem with AI. Is it's no longer your intellectual property that you're putting out. If your artist drew all those painted all those pictures, uh, those artists own it. Your company owns that work. But if it's AI generated, nobody owns that shit. So consider this from a business point of view that A, you're not protecting your IP by using AI generated art, and B, it is a slippery slope that a lot of artists care about, and obviously your Kickstarter campaign is successful, so the average consumer doesn't care. But you're compromising morals in pursuit of dollar bills, and that's that usually is a very short-sighted way to look at things. So sorry for the rant here, but I just had to come out and talk about this. And if you want to know more about AI art, I have a few videos where I used AI to create a board game and illustrate a board game, and I talked about kind of the effects of AI and how artists in the industry should be approaching it. Um, and yeah, I'm just kind of really upset at this, especially from a company that's been around and that has the resources. So it's slippery slope, you guys. um, I hope you guys all have a good one. Bye.